scientists have discovered evidence of phosphorus in an ocean not on Earth. Not on Earth. A new study in the journal Nature says the life-sustaining element was found inside salty ice grains shot into space from Enceladus, one of Saturn's moons.
It's definitely an ingredient for life. It's one of the big 6 elements that life uses. So it makes the environment habitable, what scientists call it.
Major finding on Saturn's moons boosts hopes of finding alien life in our solar system. Are aliens hiding on Saturn's moon? Scientists discover phosphates and say it could be a sign of life.
Greetings, fellow cosmic explorers. Welcome back to Spaceverse, your portal to the mysteries of the universe. I'm your cosmic guide, and today, we've got an interstellar adventure that's out of this world. So, let's not waste any time, and let's begin. Scientists assert that within our solar system beyond Earth's confines, there exists a celestial body with a chemical composition capable of potentially nurturing life, and that celestial body is none other than Enceladus. Amidst the halls of authority, and within the realm of conspiracy theories, the United States Army has taken the extraordinary step of declassifying a remarkable trove of NASA footage. For the very first time, the world is poised to bear witness to irrefutable proof of an enigmatic, colossal, 2,000-mile-long unidentified flying object that mysteriously materialized in the vicinity of Saturn. This extraordinary phenomenon was captured through the lens of NASA's most advanced telescopes and satellites. Yet, the question that looms is this: what lies concealed within this gargantuan UFO? Is it a clandestine government experiment? Or does it hail from the realm of extraterrestrial crafts? Prepare to accompany us on a journey as we delve into the revelations recently unveiled by the U.S. Army concerning NASA's footage of this monumental 2,000-mile-long UFO in Saturn's vicinity. Robert Dean, who used to be the Command Sergeant Major of the U.S. Army, just told a shocking story about meetings with beings from other, based on his time in the service. He gives fascinating details about the different ways aliens have interacted with humans. Since he worked at NATO headquarters from 1963 to 1967, his claims are more likely to be true. In 1964, while he was working at NATO, he gave a study that looked at the effects of aliens being on Earth. This information came out at a UFO show at Leeds University, which was held to mark the 50th anniversary of the Roswell event. Major Dean said that while he was in the military, he had information about 4 different groups of aliens. By the time he retired, this number had grown to more than 12. Surprisingly, this knowledge went beyond the US military and could have reached the British military as well. In a shocking turn of events, he hinted at the presence of more than 100 mysterious extraterrestrial organizations. This completely changed how we think about interactions with aliens and the complicated relationship between our planet and other civilizations. In 1964, the military paid a lot of attention to one of the 4 main alien groups. These beings looked a lot like humans and fit right into our society. They went on flights, to restaurants, and even to movies. This made people worry that they could get into important places like SHAPE offices and the Pentagon. When military officers heard that these creatures might be able to get into the White House, they were both amused and scared. Major Dean had a unique point of view. He said that humans and intelligent aliens have some things in common, and he hinted that there is a reason for this link that he did not explain. He thought that extraterrestrial meetings went beyond the boundaries of planets and included beings from different stellar systems and even the cosmos. This non-human intelligence had many different skills and was able to control both time and matter, which went against what we usually think about the universe. These aliens weren't just looking around. They were very interested in people. Their control over the dimensions, which allowed them to change time and matter, posed a problem for traditional physics and forced American and British scientists to work together. Even though Major Dean was not a scientist, he was aware of how complicated dimensions are. He did this by looking at what theoretical physicists had said about the reality of 10 dimensions. This understanding was based on evidence that had been gathered over 4 decades. This made it clear that it was not a product of science fiction, but a fact that was about to change our world in a big way. Major Dean said that a change was coming soon, which meant that the world we have known for a long time would soon stop. He thought that this new information would change the way we think and lead to a paradigm shift that had never happened before. In 2009 at the Barcelona Eco-Political Summit, Major Dean showed a fascinating set of photos that he said would change the way we think about the universe. Some of these pictures were said to have been taken by the Apollo 12 crew. They showed a huge mystery of a spaceship that was hundreds of feet across. These discoveries were the first of their kind and could change the way we think about the universe. During his 41 years of dedicated service to the United States, Mr. Dean learned a lot of surprising things. But nothing shocked him as much as when he found out that humans have a deep link with advanced extraterrestrial intelligence. He said that this complicated relationship between us and these people has been going on since the beginning of human history, and is still going on today. He proudly said that a certain alien race had engineered our species about 200,000 years ago, making us into Homo sapiens and changing our genetic blueprint. Major Dean was a well-known person in the field of ufology, and 3 awards were given to him for his important work. His unwavering credibility sparked a lot of attention, and many people liked what he had to say. Even though Major Dean died in 2018, his impact lives on and affects the ongoing discussion about whether or not extraterrestrials have been involved in human history. Now let's talk about space travel. In 1977, NASA launched the groundbreaking Voyager 2 mission from Cape Canaveral, Florida. This spaceship went on a grand tour that had never been done before. It went to Jupiter and Saturn before becoming the first to reach Uranus and Neptune and their interesting moons. Voyager 2 is currently a whopping 12.1 billion miles away from us, and it is constantly sending us information about the heliopause, which is the outermost part of our solar system. Voyager 1 and 2 are still connected to NASA's Deep Space Network, which is a very impressive feat. These probes continue to share data and follow orders, and they are expected to do so for another 5 to 6 years. This project showed how innovative scientists can be by taking advantage of a rare alignment of planets that only happens once every 176 years. This allowed the Voyager probes to use gravity to explore the solar system. Both Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 carried the famous golden record, which is a 12-inch gold-plated copper disc with a collection of sounds and pictures that show Earth's diverse life and culture. Voyager 1 holds the record for being the man-made object that is the farthest from Earth. Voyager 2, on the other hand, is well known for exploring the giant planets in our solar system over a long period. Voyager 1 made the famous pale blue dot picture, and Voyager 2 solved the secrets of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. These probes led to many findings that continue to amaze planetary scientists. They gave us important information about Saturn's complicated rings and studied Titan, a moon with an atmosphere like Earth's. Geologists were also surprised by the amount of geological action on Enceladus, a small moon. The Voyager missions also gave ideas for the Cassini mission to Saturn. For example, Voyager 1 Paris of Titan gave rise to the idea of the Huygens probe, which successfully landed on Titan's surface. Future missions, such as Dragonfly, are set to reach Saturn's moon Titan in 2034. These missions will continue the work done by the Voyager projects. Also, an interesting story came out about strange things that were said to be happening near Saturn. As Major Dean showed off amazing pictures he said were taken during Voyager's journey to Saturn in the 1980s. His claims about huge bright spots near Saturn sparked heated debates among the general public, scientists, and people who believe in UFOs. He said that a huge object, possibly an alien spaceship, was hovering near Saturn and was as big as Earth. He said that this huge force stretched for about 2,000 miles and had a diameter of 400 miles. Dean's concept said that these big electromagnetic ships had something to do with how Saturn's rings were made. People thought that these elliptical spacecrafts, which were nearly 7,000 miles long, circled not only Saturn, but also the Sun, Jupiter, and Uranus, and that their smoke could be seen. People started to think that an advanced society might live on Saturn or strategically use its surroundings because of these amazing claims. The object's shape and size confused experts. It looked bigger than the moon and changed between a round shape and a cigar shape. Dean thought that the object moved intelligently through Saturn's rings and between its moons. This led to ideas about what it might be doing, such as mining Saturn's rings for materials. Even though it was just a guess, this idea added another layer of mystery by suggesting that there was a very advanced society that could use space's many resources. As NASA's Cassini probe kept looking for new things, it found a new mystery inside Saturn's famous rings. On the date of August 11, during Saturn's equinox, the Sun smoothly wrapped around the rings and cast a shadow on Saturn's B ring, making for a mesmerizing show. This shadow was made by a tiny moonlet that was only 25 miles long, but it still had a magical appeal. The moonlet itself was about 1,300 feet across, which made Cassini's arrival at Saturn even more interesting. This rare equinox event, which happened once every 15 Earth years, meant that the spacecraft's mission had to be perfectly timed to align with Saturn's intense sunlight at the equator. When this happened, the sun put a bright noonday light on Saturn's equator. This happened every 27 months. During this rare event, any object in the plane of the rings left a unique, long shadow on the background of the universe. There was a lot of talk about what the clouds might be, and some people thought they might be spaceships from other planets, but this idea hasn't been proven. In the meantime, Dr. Norman Berggren, a former NASA engineer, has gotten people's attention with his bold claims that there are spaceships from other planets near Saturn. While working at NASA's Ames Research Center, he says that UFOs exist in our solar system and play a role in the formation of planetary rings, such as Saturn's. Berggren's claims are different because he says that these alien ships are not only around Saturn, but also around other ringed planets like Jupiter and Uranus. This new way of looking at things suggests a larger network of connections in the universe that goes beyond Saturn. Berggren's ideas were first written about in his book Ringmakers of Saturn, which came out in 1986. It goes into more depth about this idea and shows huge alien ships called ringmakers in orbit around Saturn. He thinks that the acts of these spacecraft may have caused some parts of Saturn's rings to form. Berggren's comments are important to remember because they were made in 2016. He remembers seeing long, cylinder-shaped things inside the rings that had exhaust systems and other interesting features. Even though these ideas may test what we think we know, they make us think about how we see the universe and the possible interactions that happen outside of our world. Berggren also says that there are huge live alien UFO spaceships inside Saturn's rings, and that they are multiplying quickly and pose a serious threat. According to what he says, not only do these spaceships exist, but they are also making copies of themselves and changing to fit their space surroundings. His book Ringmakers of Saturn, which has gotten a lot of attention, goes into more detail about this amazing claim. It indicates that these alien spaceships could be trying to hide in Saturn's rings, which could be both a source of energy and a place to hide. The surprising notion of technologically advanced extraterrestrial civilizations exploring our solar system using highly adaptive spacecraft has ignited heated debate. Norman Berggren's comments go against what most scientists think and have caught the attention of many UFO researchers and fans. Some people think that NASA might be hiding proof of extraterrestrial research to avoid panic or unrest around the world. Berggren's authority comes from the fact that he worked on secret aerospace projects for Lockheed Martin and was on the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics. Even though his claims are still controversial and don't have strong scientific support, they show how much we still don't know about space. The question of whether or not blurry pictures from distorted photos of planets can show that aliens have advanced technology is still unanswered. Now let's look at the Cassini spacecraft. It went on an amazing 13-year journey to carefully study Saturn's beautiful rings and the rest of the universe with an accuracy that has never been seen before. NASA, the European Space Agency, and the Italian Space Agency all worked together on this project, which was led by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory at the California Institute of Technology in Pasadena. Cassini's famous journey ended almost 6 years ago, and in a truly amazing turn of events, it has now shown us something amazing. Our cosmic journey took us high above Kraken Mare, a huge area that covers 680 kilometers, and then to Ligeia Mare, a strange sea whose name makes us think of mythical sea creatures. As we continued our celestial voyage, we ventured into enigmatic regions where topographical data was sparse, followed by journeys over smaller lakes, each measuring around 30 miles or less. Our exploration of this cosmic canvas is an ongoing adventure. During the years Cassini spent exploring, its radar monitor worked hard to gather data to make pictures of water on other planets. One of the most important things found in this data was that Enceladus, one of Saturn's moons, has phosphate under its icy surface. The well-known magazine Nature wrote about this important discovery. Cassini's cosmic dust analyzer picked up ice grains and watery vapor from Enceladus's cryovolcanic blasts, revealing something truly amazing. It found an amazing amount of sodium phosphates and phosphorus concentrations that were 100 times higher than what was found in the seas of Earth. Phosphorus, which is essential to life, was in the ocean under Enceladus's icy surface. This elusive molecule hides in the depths of the ocean. It plays an important part in cell membranes, DNA, and RNA, all of which are needed for life to exist. The famous planetary scientist Frank Postberg from Berlin's Free University, who led this amazing study, calls this finding extraordinary. He says that this is the first time that phosphate, an important part of life, has been found in an ocean outside of Earth. Dr. Christopher Glein, a respected planetary scientist and co-investigator at the Southwest Research Institute, says that people should be cautiously optimistic. Even though finding the building blocks of life is a big step forward, it is only a small part of the big picture. The discovery also showed that methane, dihydrogen, and carbon dioxide are there. This gives us more information about Enceladus and its possibility to have life beyond Earth. The adventurous Cassini spacecraft found intriguing signs hidden in the mysterious plumes of Saturn's moon. It also found methane, which is a key ingredient for life. And this amazing discovery was the main focus of a study that was released in Nature Astronomy. Cassini, which shows how smart people are, didn't just stop at methane. It also found an odd amount of carbon dioxide and dihydrogen molecules. These strange mixtures don't fit with how geological processes usually work, which raises an intriguing question. Could Earth-like bacteria live on Enceladus's strange surface? Visionaries have thought of a way that bacteria on Enceladus could use dihydrogen as fuel and produce methane in the process. Enceladus is covered in ice and has a secret ocean, which makes it seem like it could be a good place for life. There are similarities between Earth's fascinating hydrothermal vents and Enceladus's ethereal plumes. As water mixes with the rocks in the ocean at the moon's core, it may be a source of chemical energy. Cassini's methane data are carefully looked at by mathematical models that combine geology and microbial ecology. Regis Ferrier, a well-known scientist from the University of Arizona and co-lead author of the study, points out the similarities between these data patterns and the rhythms of microbial activity in hydrothermal vents or other strange things that don't happen on Earth. In our celestial world, the hope of life's tenacity is still there. Within the confines of the Pentagon, the bastion of security, an intriguing conundrum unfolds as they grapple with no less than 144 reports detailing unidentified airborne phenomena, a quest to unlock the secrets of a baffling enigma. In a strange turn of events, Navy pilot David Fravor told a story that would make him famous in UFO history during a hearing about things that couldn't be explained. In 2004, Fravor took charge of an FA-18F wing on the impressive USS Nimitz aircraft carrier. During his time as captain, he noticed something really strange. An object in the shape of a tic-tac flying through the sky off the coast of Southern California. In the year 2021, Fravor talked about this amazing experience on the famous TV show 60 Minutes. Fravor's adventure started when he and Lieutenant Commander Alex Dietrich were training with the Nimitz Carrier Strike Group. The advanced radar on the USS Princeton picked up signals from several strange flying objects that seemed to defy the rules of gravity as they came down from an altitude of 80,000 feet at breakneck speed. Fravor and Dietrich set out to figure out what was going on because they were interested. As they watched, a small, white tic-tac-shaped object floated about 5 minutes above the ocean's surface. But what shocked them was how, as they got closer, Fravor's moves seemed to be copied by the tic-tac. It was like a strange dance of awareness between humans and machines. This mysterious thing looked like an airplane like Fravor's FA-18F, but it had no wings, marks, or clear exhaust plumes. As they tried to solve this problem, they found out something even more amazing. The tic-tac moved at an unfathomable speed and disappeared in the blink of an eye. It was amazing that it came back in less than a minute, but this time it was 60 miles away. Fravor's statement had deep meanings that went beyond the limits of modern science and hinted at possibilities that are hard to imagine. During the hearing, Navy pilot David Fravor gave proof that was hard to ignore, but he wasn't the only one to say something. Brian Graves, an experienced Navy pilot who had seen strange things in the sky during training drills, was standing next to him. David Grush, a 14-year intelligence worker, added another point of view. These shocking revelations sent shockwaves all over the world. Unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAP, have been seen over 500 times since 2004, according to a study that came out in January of the same year. Some of these cases had logical answers, but a large number of them were still a mystery. Fravors' meeting with the mysterious Tic Tac UFO was a perfect example of how people face the unknown and welcome the unexplainable. Now, the story shifts to Luis Elizondo, who tells us more about the mysterious black triangle UFO. A pilot in the US Navy was able to take a picture of this strange black triangle UFO coming up from the ocean. Even though the Pentagon hasn't confirmed it yet, people who know about it say it's real. In 2020, Luis Elizondo, the former head of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, gave a very revealing interview in which he hinted that the picture existed. He referred to the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force's collection of photos of strange objects in the sky, including a very clear picture of the mysterious triangle rising from the depths of the ocean. This event allegedly took place off the east coast of the United States and featured a large triangle with rounded corners and bright white lights at each corner. The pilots were working from the nuclear-powered supercarriers USS Dwight D. Eisenhower and USS John C. Stennis, both of which were in the Nimitz class. These kinds of encounters always give rise to conspiracy ideas, especially since they seem to be connected to UFOs and nuclear weapons. Even though officials know the picture exists, they haven't said much else about it. The task force's primary focus lies on the enigmatic unidentified submersible phenomena objects with the uncanny ability to traverse both the depths of the underwater realm and the heights of the aerial domain, perhaps originating from the mysterious depths of our planet's oceans. On a wholly different note, an ordinary man by the name of John Shepard found himself thrust into the epicenter of a mesmerizing enigma. Imagine a quiet night in June 2014, when he and his wife went camping at the peaceful Wind Shores spot near Kensington. When the clock hit 11:30 p.m., something very strange happened right in front of their eyes. Hovering approximately 75 meters from the shoreline and nearly a kilometer away, a diamond-shaped light illuminated the sea, akin to a scene ripped from the pages of a science fiction novel. Shepard quickly got his phone out of his pocket and started recording this unbelievable scene. His voice was filled with wonder as he said, "It flashes brightly on and off for a short time." Shepard was amazed. It looks like a dreidel or a spinning top. Just when he thought the story couldn't get any stranger, a second bright object appeared and joined the dance of the stars about 3 minutes later. Shepard said, "I don't even know what that is. It's unlike anything I've ever seen." He hoped that the footage would show more than what could be seen with the naked eye, but he was also afraid of getting a reputation as someone who sells strange things. As time went on, more and more questions came up. More than a year later, Shepard remained ensnared in a web of bewilderment, incapable of aligning the spectacle with any conventional aircraft, helicopter, or earthly explanation. Shepard's anxiety grew as the hypnotic light show went on. He hid himself behind a bush so he could film the strange lights without being seen. About 8 minutes into his recording, he saw the lights mysteriously disappear, leaving behind a trail of mystery. Shepard wanted to find out what was going on, so he contacted Canada's Mutual UFO Network, a non-profit group that looks into the unknown areas of UFOs. They treated his case with the seriousness it earned and were aware that it didn't happen very often. But even after a lot of work and the use of cutting-edge technology, no one could figure out what the bright lights in Shepard's footage were. Even drone experts couldn't figure out what was going on. They ruled out drone activity because the wind was too strong and there were two different objects. Assistant Director Stibundi said with great seriousness that Shepard had seen a real UFO. Shepard was sure of what he believed, but skepticism moved around in the background. He agreed that it was still unknown and that he couldn't say for sure that it was a spaceship. This case has a place in UFO history, and the network says it was one of the top 10 sightings of 2014. And that's a wrap for today's cosmic adventure here on Spaceverse. We hope you enjoyed exploring the mysteries of the universe with us. Before you go, don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this interstellar journey. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an episode of Spaceverse. We've only scratched the surface of what's out there, so stay tuned for more mind-blowing content on space, stars, and everything in between. As we say goodbye for now, remember, the universe is full of wonders waiting to be discovered, and we're here to explore them together. Until next time, keep looking up at the stars, Keep asking those cosmic questions and keep dreaming big. This is Spaceverse, signing off.